Hello and welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to The Lord of the Rings and everything in between. I hope you're doing well today. I am. If you're new, my name is Aiden. I'm your host, and today I am going to be reviewing issue number 7 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. If you're new to this channel, over the past few weeks I've been doing a review of each issue in this 12-part series that redefined the superhero genre and reinvigorated DC Comics. So please check out those first 6 videos so that you can have some context for this. But for those of you who have seen all of my previous videos on this book, we are continuing from where we left off. So let's get into this. Issue number 7 begins with Alex Luthor and Lila on the rock where they remained, and Pariah comes and they're talking, and they're like, okay, we gotta continue our mission. Then we go to Earth S, which is where Captain Marvel resides, and Captain Marvel was, if you didn't know this, was originally created by CC Beck, and I forget the writer's name, so leave a comment for the algorithm to let me know. And if you are new, please subscribe so you can check out more videos like this, or video games, or Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, anything nerdy I'll talk about. And hit the like button if you enjoy this video. Hit the bell notification to be notified whenever I post a new video. And I'll leave the links to all my social media in the description, as well as my Patreon and Teespring. So if you would like to support me financially, get me out of my mother's house, greatly appreciate that. You get a bunch of amazing benefits. So thank you for your consideration on that. So Captain Marvel was originally owned by Fawcett Comics, but then DC Comics, or the precursor National Allied Publications Incorporated, sued Fawcett because they believed, and the court eventually ruled, that Captain Marvel was a ripoff of Superman. And so it was the longest lawsuit in the history of comics, and eventually DC won, and they bought up Captain Marvel and some other Fawcett characters, and they said that Captain Marvel lives on Earth S, the letter S. So on Earth S, his arch nemesis, Dr. Sivana, and his henchman Ibeck are talking, and then Captain Marvel shows up, and then Sivana and Ibeck are taken in a beam by Brainiac. So, you know, Brainiac's there. And Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and Beast Boy show up along with Captain Marvel Jr. and Taki Tani. Taki Tani is a talking tiger who is an ally of Captain Marvel. He's very silly, this character. The Psycho Pirate's thrall has ceased, so Captain Marvel is free. And then they are greeted by Lila, who is going to tell them the whole story. Then we go to Earth 2, where Yolanda, who is now the new Wildcat, is eavesdropping on Adam talking about how there's never going to be a new Wildcat. So she's like, okay, I got to prove myself. And so she goes off. And then we go to Earth 4. Oh, and correction from one of my last videos, I said that the Peacemaker was made by Steve Ditko. I was wrong, he was not. So, Earth 4 with the Charlton characters, Pariah's like, come on, we'll send one of your best guys. They send Blue Beetle, and he's gonna be, you know, the representative of Earth 4 to hear the whole story. And so then they go to Earth X, and they get Uncle Sam. And we see that since the Earths are merging, so is time and all that, so we see some crazy shenanigans. And Superman of Earth 1 and 2 both meet Alex Luthor Jr. of Earth 3, that Lex Luthor's son, who's actually good. And Superman's like, still a Luthor. Then we see the title card. This issue is called Beyond the Silent Night, which is named after a poem. So we got the representatives: Superman of Earth 1, Superman of Earth 2, Alex Luthor of Earth 3, Blue Beetle from Earth 4, Lady Quark from Earth 6, Captain Marvel from Earth S, and Uncle Sam from Earth 10. And so they are explaining the origins of the multiverse. And this actually refers to a Green Lantern book from either the 60s or the 70s. I don't remember. But so basically, Oa, the homeworld of the Green Lantern Corps, spread out the Owens, who were the Guardians of the Universe. And the Guardians evolved and grew, and they were very intelligent and they had longevity. They were very, scientific. And one guy was interested in learning about the origins of the universe, and the Owens have this law saying, no, you can't do that. So he builds a machine anyway, and he sees the hand of God forming the universe. And so, because of that, he is banished. He's like atomized, and his ashes are like, he's still alive, but he's like in a incorporeal form, and he's scattered throughout the universe. But when he saw the birth of the universe, that created parallel Earths. Thus, the multiverse was born. And so the Owens created the Manhunters, which is part of their history. They thought, okay, we're going to make a police corps. So they made robots, but then they're like, nah, we need a human touch. And so they created the Green Lanterns out of the central power battery. But some of the Owens were against this. Were against their peaceful means. So they're like, no, we want the Green Lanterns to kill people. They're like, nah. So then these guys broke off. And they did their own thing, and so there's the Matter Universe, and then there's the Antimatter Universe. The Antimatter Universe spawned the Anti-Monitor, and as a result, the Matter Universe created the Monitor. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That law of science. And so then some of the Owens who broke off ended up in the Antimatter Universe and settled on this planet called Quard. And then some of them were turned into the shadow demons that the Anti-Monitor used. While this was happening, the Monitor was meditating and learning about the universe. And the Anti-Monitor conquered his universe and sensed his brother. So they fought, and then they went catatonic. And then we learn about Pariah. So Pariah was from another Earth. He was like their scientist supreme. And he wanted to learn about the origin of the universe. They're like, no, you can't do that. He's like, I'm going to do it anyway. He does it. And so then we see him getting trapped in sort of limbo, and then he frees the Anti-Monitor. And then we see that his world was destroyed by the antimatter cloud, and he could only watch in horror. And then the Monitor woke up, and he's like, okay, I gotta fight against my brother. So then he created his satellite. He imbued Pariah with power. And then he found Lila. She was in a shipwreck, and he saved her, raised her, And yeah, that's basically the setup for this. Then we see the magic characters saying, no, let's not get involved. And Deadman's like, why the hell not? And Phantom Stranger is like, because. Phantom Stranger is a cosmic guy. He's like the Watcher from Marvel. And then we see Power Girl, who is the Supergirl of Earth 2, talking to the Huntress, who's the daughter of Batman from Earth 2, and they're best friends. And Karen is like, Helena, why wasn't I asked, to be like one of the representatives? And Helena's like, don't worry, we'll still help. And some of the other heroes are talking, saying, oh, we better help when the fighting starts. And by the way, this is going to be a long issue. So then we get some more exposition, and then, like Moses parting the Red Sea, Alex Luthor parts the dimensional barrier, and so Pariah leads them through to the Antimatter Universe. So they're going to go fuck up the Anti-Monitor, and takes them a while to get there, but they get there, and then they're a little disoriented. And then they see the Anti-Monitor's headquarters. Pretty cool. Again, Perez does a phenomenal job on the artwork, and Wolfman does an amazing job with the story. Pays a lot of attention to continuity while building on it himself and creating his own unique ideas. I love this story. So then we see Psycho Pirate because he doesn't need him anymore, and then we have this cool moment between Firestorm and the Ray, where Firestorm's like, I usually treat things like a joke, but now I'm scared. Adam's like, Ray's like, don't worry, man, we'll do this. And Superman of Earth 2 gets attacked by this giant rock golem, and it makes him bleed, and he's like, that doesn't happen. So, eventually, I forget who says it, but someone says the laws of nature must be very different in the Antimatter Universe. Now we get this cool moment between Martian Manhunter and Captain Marvel, where they're saying, Jean, I knocked down that guy twice, but he's still getting up, and Jean's like, don't worry, man, we'll beat him. And Superman and Supergirl are fighting him, and Captain Atom from Earth 4 is with them, and Green Lantern of Earth 2 and his daughter Jade are fighting. Like, there are many rock golems now coming in, and boom, boom, boom. Dr. Light is with Pariah, and and even Superman admits that Dr. Light's a bitch, but she's softening now. She's becoming more palatable. So Superman's like, okay, we found the device, I'm gonna smash it. And then Superman gets hurt because the Anti-Monitor shows up. And Supergirl hears this with her super hearing. She's like, because she wants to go save her cousin. And Dr. Light's trying to fight in the Anti-Monitor. He's like, and so he's wailing on Superman, and it's, this really brutal fight. And we keep cutting between the other heroes fighting off the monsters. Then we cut back to Superman and the Anti-Monitor. And Supergirl saves Dr. Light, and she teaches Dr. Light not to be a bitch, but to be a hero. And then she starts bleeding because she got a cut on her cheek. And then she just barrels into the Anti-Monitor, and she's like, watch over Superman, I got this guy. And she barrels into him. She tackles him and is wailing on him like boom, boom, boom. Powerful hits because this is Supergirl. She's not as powerful as Superman, but she's pretty close. So then Wonder Woman's like, uh-oh, I better go over there and help. And Green Lantern's like, I'll send my ring to, I'll ask my ring to let me see what's going on over there. And then we get the moment that made me, and I'm man enough to admit this, tear up a bit. We get the death of Supergirl. So Supergirl was just laid out by the Antimatter, and she's bleeding internally and out and externally, and she is barely holding on, and Superman's cradling her, and he's like, hang on, we'll get help. And she's like, no, it's okay, I love you, you taught me how to be a hero, don't give up hope. And then we see Captain Marvel crying, and Dr. Light crying, and Superman holds her and she dies, and he's like, ah! Superman's like, I'll kill him! And Superman of Earth 2 is like, no, he's crying, he's like, no, we're not killers, Clark. And so he's like, you're right, Clark. And then Superman picks up Kara, or Linda, whatever you want to call her, and they fly away, go back to Earth. Superman did destroy the device, so the Earths have stopped merging for now. So back on Earth, there's a funeral for Supergirl. Batgirl gives her eulogy. It's beautiful. It's sad. Lana and Lois are reporting on it. Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal, who dated Supergirl, is sad. And Wonder Woman and Batman are crying at the funeral. Everyone's crying. It's heartbreaking. And then there's a private funeral at the Fortress of Solitude, where Superman is, talking to her, and she's wrapped up in her cape. Superman is like, I remember when you first arrived on Earth. I just wanted to protect you, and I love you, and I'm so sorry I failed you, but I'll never give up hope, and I'll keep fighting until the bitter end. And then he carries her off into space, I guess, to just either leave her there or to throw her into the sun. It's very ambiguous. And then we get the poem, Is there beyond the silent night and endless day? Is death a door that leads to light? We cannot say. And yeah, so that's the end of issue number 7, Crisis on Infinite Earths. I knew it was coming, but I was still saddened. And it was just a beautiful issue and a beautiful end to a beautiful character in more ways than one, inside and out. And then we get the cover for issue 8. We all know it's coming. And yeah, that is the end of my review for Crisis on Infinite Earths issue number 7 by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. Stay tuned for my review of issue number 8 and then the rest of the series. We're getting close. It's almost at part 12 and the end, but we'll get there soon. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos, or tell me how I did, give me any constructive criticisms. I'll leave a link to my social media accounts in the description of this video, as well as my podcast. I'll be releasing a new episode this week, and I will also leave my Teespring and Patreon links as well. So if you would like to support me financially, you get a plethora of benefits. You can get early access to videos and podcast episodes. You can send me a message. You can see my original writing projects. You can vote on polls. You can get behind the scenes pictures and updates, plethora of benefits. And on Teespring you can get a shirt with my channel's logo on it, and you can get a coffee mug or a sweater, anything you want. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.